everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Monday, October 17th, 2016, and today Frank McCourt has officially acquired Olympique de Marseille. We still haven't had any word from the former owners who still retain, the Louis Dreyfus family, because obviously Margarita doesn't really care about the club that much, but her son, Kirill, he is really the one holding still 5% of the club, of the shares of the club. So yeah, it's really strange that we haven't heard of them, and not any communication about the passing of the torch. But yeah, I mean it's kind of the whole thing about Margarita, because she never really stepped in as an owner of the club until she really had to, like for when announcing the sale, announcing that Michel was suspended because he's not fired. That's the whole thing. Still the point of contention between the club and him. Announcing that the club was sold, and pretty much everything surrounding the sale really was her announcing, because the rest of the time it was more the club speaking, not really anyone, not even the president. So yeah, that felt weird. So effective immediately was Jacques-Henri Hérault becoming the president of the club. That changes already one thing. Apparently the former president, Giovanni Ciccolunghi, he was a very nice dude, maybe too nice for that kind of club, because after the 1-1 draw against Angers in the plane, he was apparently the one pushing the cart in the plane, giving the meals. So yeah, really stand-up dude. But it really feels weird to hear that it's the same guy who in Russia, as the CEO of Adidas in Russia, was the one to negotiate all the deals with the Russian Football Federation and the clubs and all that. But maybe in business he's another man than he was there. He was a transitional president. No one really saw him sticking around after the club was sold, and it was announced pretty early during the exclusive negotiations that he wasn't going to stay. Now, who is going to stay? Well, probably nobody that has some kind of real function. Only I think the people, the employees, the people behind the desks and all that. But Peter Jacobs, Peter Jacobs, because he's Belgian, should be also leaving. Now we don't know. Very important thing, we don't know who might take his place as the director of sports. Because Luis Campos, who is a name that everybody says it's pretty much done, was also in talks with Gerard Lopez, who was pretty famous for saying, "Yeah, I will bring back Bielsa." Now Mr. Lopez is in negotiations with Lyon to acquire the club, and it's been revealed that he's been in talks since June, which means that at the same time that everybody was saying Gerard Lopez is bringing back Bielsa, he was already speaking with the officials at Lyon, which isn't really cool. Maybe Luis Campos won't come. Monchi, I think he's still in Seville. I'm not sure because I've read some papers talking about also Lazio Roma. So yeah, not sure about that. But still, uh, the things that have transpired are that, for example, Eero has made a very rousing speech holding the the trophy of the Champions League that Marseille won in 1993. Marseille are the inaugural winners of the Champions League under the name Champions League because before that it was the European Cup of Champions clubs of yeah it was a C1 which still is kind of the name we give it and but it was a different name champion yeah it was the Champions Cup not really the Champions League so yeah Marseille was were the first to win the Champions League and he said that Marseille should be the one French club to succeed to Marseille as as winners of the Champions League in terms of French clubs, which gives you really an idea of how fast McCourt wants the club to grow because every year we're growing closer and closer to Paris maybe winning it. They still can go further, much further than the quarterfinals. But the day they do, the year they do, might be the year they take it all. So we'll see. Um, but still, it's really bringing back Marseille not only to the top of French football but also of the top of European football. French football wasn't even mentioned by Mr. McCourt in his first words as the owner. He directly went to European football. So yeah, that sets the goals really, especially for a team that's currently sitting at the 12th spot of the league. Yeah, that's something, huh? The Americans. So yeah, it will be really interesting to see where the club goes from now. Until at least until the transfer, the transfer market in winter. We are going to have the same team with the same coach and the same staff, but will Passy survive the winter the winter transfer market window? Probably not. It's probably going to be him, the first one to disappear. Certainly going to be replaced by maybe a young coach, depending on who comes to to replace Mr. Jacobs. It's going to be probably a young coach with a big name. But yeah, essentially, Passy is to Marseille was what Comboire was to Paris when the Qatari arrived. He was an okay coach for the management that the Americans of Colony Capital brought. But yeah, maybe he lacked a little bit of big name credibility for people who saw themselves winning the Champions League in the next 5 years. So yeah, I don't really know where we're going. Now we're all really happy, finally someone to bring us out of this misery. Then again, 200 million euros over the next 4 years. Of course, it's going to be mainly for the transfers, not for the management of the club. That doesn't mean 50 million a year, because first off, he's probably bluffing. Second, well, there's still all the sponsoring and shit. He was talking about 200 million euros of his own money. So yeah, there's still a lot of contracts around that that are linked to the club and not to the owner. So we'll see how that goes. First, really the first moment we will be able to really judge where the McCourt Euro ticket is going will be at the end of the month of January, when on deadline day, and then even more clearly at the on deadline day at the end of next summer. But until then, nothing really to see. Yeah. So anyway, other things tonight. I'll be watching Raw because I've received a mail today from the university, and they expected an answer. Except the fact, fact is that I didn't see the mail before 5 p.m. So it was way after they closed the offices. So yeah, I'm not going on tomorrow because of the obviously needed to take an appointment. It won't be in the day. That would feel weird. So yeah, I'm probably going there on Wednesday morning. Just so that I'm really done with it. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for all this stressful thing. And then I will try to negotiate a 6-month internship with the firefighters, because there's still maybe an open door. I still have the argument that yeah, it's 6 months, but it's starting in like February, so it's not 2016 anymore, it's 2017. Maybe that will be a good argument. We will see about that. Because all the offers that I've seen, most of them say, yeah, you kind of need to have the driver's license, and my foot, still not okay, so I cannot drive. So yeah. So really tonight watching Raw, I stayed awake until 5 a.m. anyway, watching American football, which is all in all a pretty boring sport, besides the plays in themselves. So yeah, I don't feel like I will be wasting my time that much more. At the end of the day, pro wrestling, there's more happening over the course of the 3 hours than during an NFL game, I guess. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. I'm really happy, but I'm really concerned because it's still really foggy, and the only thing I know is the club is essentially staying the same until December. So yeah. Bye bye.